One more big score, we got enough money to leave. What do you think?
So, Red Dead Redemption 2 was finally released a couple of weeks ago and immediately made a lot of noise. There was a feeling that literally everyone around is playing this game, but only not PC players, and some console owners started laughing at them, demonstrating themselves as a part of the highest caste of gamers, and sometimes to even condescendingly pity them, saying something like, "Poor you, but don't worry, at least you can pass the game on YouTube, maybe you shouldn't have pirated so much." And this is what not only simple players do, but also some serious journalists. And today we'll talk about why console exclusives generally exist, and Red Dead Redemption 2 in particular. Will it come on PC, and if yes, when? And why PC remains so uninteresting platform for many developers.
Trust me, Arthur. Just one more. There's always a goddamn train.
So, the big console exclusives. Many think that God of War, Zelda, Halo, The Last of Us are so good because their creators know what they do very well and don't waste time on nonsense, and that this is the only way of making games. Then they make a logical conclusion that Ubisoft and Electronic Arts are just lazy bots and non-professionals and simply don't put enough time in their games. And partly this is surely true, but there is one important feature. The economy of an exclusive console game and of a multi-platform game are completely different. Usual game is always created to make money, and authors have to pay nearly 30% of all incomes to a platform owner. And if a game doesn't take back its budget, it will be a direct loss of a publisher. That's why that games are being created very carefully, in order to spend less and earn more. And only one serious failure can cause an entire company's collapse, even if they have to save on development, add loot boxes and other such things which are not really welcomed by players. Still, developers often go for it, and the reluctance to risk and the will to do everything in proven ways often come along with it. But the situation with console exclusives is completely different. The most top-tier exclusives have one more very important goal: to engage as many new players on the platform as possible, which will be buying new games in the future and making more profit to a platform owner. So that's why top exclusive have much higher budget, and they can afford not to be paid off just by sales. The more important thing is to deserve the love of players and journalists, and of course if a good profit comes along with it, that would be the best result. But sometimes platform owners are ready to give away exclusives almost for free, just only to motivate people to buy their console. For example, every Nintendo Wii was accompanied by some games on the start. It's too hard to develop and publish games on your own, that's why developers try to enlist the support of publishers. For instance, Take-Two wanted to make GTA 4 an exclusive for PS3, and Microsoft paid huge money to prevent this from happening. According to the analyst Michael Pachter, the amount for the release of GTA 4 on Xbox 360 has been $75 million. As a result, Take-Two got a lot of money from Sony and Microsoft both, and then released the game on PC. So here comes the question: why the first Red Dead Redemption hasn't appeared on PC? Let's try to answer this logically. It was 8 years ago, the 7th console generation was in its prime, and PC, on the contrary, was in crisis. GTA 4 PC sales were not so successful. Plus, it was really hard to make a PC port for a PS3 or Xbox 360 game, because of two different architectures. So it seems that Take-Two just decided not to bother with it that much and considered the probable income wouldn't cover the expenses. And maybe it could have happened the same to GTA 5, but then 8th generation of consoles changed the game. Their hardware was almost the same as on PC. So when PS4 and Xbox One versions were ready, it turned out that almost everything was ready for PC version. And in the end, after some waiting, PC gamers got the game, which has been sold in more than 10 million copies. And now when we finally sorted out about what conditions are most important in taking that kind of decisions, we may try to talk about the PC release of Red Dead Redemption 2. So what do we have at this moment? Generally, there is already a finished PC version. There is nothing to make a port for, cause the architectures are identical. We have Microsoft, which already lost the battle in the current generation of consoles. Therefore, they're not very interested in the promotion of Xbox One anymore. It even can be better for Microsoft to have Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC, so that to not allow Sony to get maximum profit. And we have Sony, which tries to engage more players on PS4. They're ready to pay for some exclusive content, even if it's temporary, but they also have a lot of their own exclusives. They should take a decision very carefully so to get maximum profit. And that's why I think there is almost no doubt about the release of Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC. It sure will be released on PC, right after Take-Two lightens console players' pockets as much as possible, and Sony and Microsoft as well. In case if they won't maintain sales on a sufficient level, maybe PC players get the game after 6 months, but if not so, they'll have to wait for a year or for 1.5. By the way, there was a news from Michael Pachter, who also predicted the PC release of Red Dead Redemption 2 on spring 2019, and even named a month, which is April. He also added he's got no idea what the publisher is waiting for, and that the game will be on new generation consoles right after their release. And here you may have a reasonable question, what are they waiting for indeed? Is PC really so small and meaningless platform, so Rockstar decided not to release the PC version at the start? To begin, let me remind that PC games market is almost as big as console market, but console market is much simpler. It's concentrated in the US and Europe, where the most solvent gaming audience lives, and developers know that audience very well and know how to work with it. On the contrary, the PC market is very complex. PC gamers live all around the world, and they have a huge number of games from which they can choose. They always count their money, and it can be not so easy to force them to pay another $60. In addition, the console players have become not so reliable audience for publishers lately. The people who play only on consoles also started to count their money, and it's also getting harder and harder to take that $60 from them either. Surprisingly, the difference between PC and consoles is getting smaller and smaller. That is to say, console players are becoming more similar to PC players. That is why multi-platform games are now coming on PC without fail. So generally, there are no premises for Red Dead Redemption 2 not to be released on PC. And the argument that Red Dead Redemption 1 was on consoles only doesn't work now. There are totally different circumstances on the market this time. Of course, we can be mistaken, maybe we don't know about some arrangements between developers, publishers and platform owners. Maybe there are some other factors that are not yet revealed. If you think so, let's discuss all this in comments. What is your own prediction of Red Dead Redemption 2 PC release date?
What's your name?
I don't have a name.
And that's all. If you liked the video, don't forget to press like and subscribe to the channel, so not to miss our next gaming analytics. Play Red Dead Redemption 2 and see you next time!